What's going on, beautiful people? Thank you for tuning in and listening to my videos and watching them. I appreciate your appreciation. And we're gonna talk about universities and colleges in this video. So the other day I was walking in the hallways of the university that I went to. And so I'm looking around, right? Looking at the posters, right? You know, if you go to a university or college, there's posters everywhere, right? Like just posters. This event's gonna happen, that event's gonna happen. We need a study group, so if you want to volunteer or whatever, you know, come check out the gym, come check out these classes. Posters everywhere. And I saw a tendency, and the tendency is posters everywhere of events, of groups, right? So you have like an event for Indians, you have an event for people from Sri Lanka, you have an event, Middle Eastern event, you know, Persian night, Native American culture, right? And so you have like a bunch of events, right? And it's always, come check out this group, come check out. And usually, I mean, you'll see even in the language, usually like it's written in English and the language of the people that you're trying to get to come to your event. So what are you saying, Saeed? Are you saying that, you know, like people shouldn't be proud of where they are and the culture that they come from? And I mean, isn't it natural? Isn't it natural for people to bond with other people of the same culture as them? They speak the same language and they share the same traditions, and you know, they have common ground. So like, come on, Saeed, why are you being a douchebag here? Why are you being an asshole? Why are you being unreasonable by attacking these things, right? Well, I'm not attacking them. I think, yes, there's a tendency for people to bond with other people from their culture. Look, I've gone through my entire university degree, with the exception of the last year, just hanging around Middle Eastern people, okay? So I get it. Hanging around people who spoke Arabic and sort of came from the same upbringing. It wasn't until my last year that I started going a little bit out and mingling more and getting more close and intimate with people from different backgrounds, right? So I get that tendency, okay? I understand it because, you know, that's sort of been my experience most of my life. But here's the problem. Not once on these posters, not once on these billboards did I see an event, did I see something that's preaching oneness, that's preaching similarity, that's telling people of sort of different. Hey, hello guys, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Pretty good. Just shooting some YouTube videos.
Oh yeah, cool.
Yeah. So yeah, I haven't seen a single event, a single thing that's saying come embrace that all have been human being. Not once. Not there's no such thing as like a society, you know, because they have differences, they call them different societies, right? Like, come check out the Middle Eastern society, come check out the Indian society. Not once did I see a poster, an event, an invitation to come and embrace being a human being. You know, let's embrace all of us just for being a human being. It's always separation. It's always, you know, trying to just stick and cling on to your group. It's again, group identity. Tribalism, the negative side of tribalism is just, you know, this tendency for immigrants, which I am an immigrant, right? I spent 13 years of my life outside of this country. I came in here and I knew pretty much no English. There is a tendency for immigrants to come into whatever country they're in and stick to their own tribe, stick to their own people. And I see this now, like when I'm walking around in universities. And that was my experience in university. Separation. Where is oneness? Where is unity? Where is love? Where is embracing that we're all human beings? You know what I'd like to do? I'd like to start a society in university. You know, if I was now going to university and I had the same mindset that I have now, I'd start a society, and of course they wouldn't fucking let me name it that way, but I'd call it the Asshole Society. Come embrace the oneness of all human beings having an asshole. Let's share this one thing that we all have in common, that we all have an asshole, and let's actually talk about ways to make that asshole happy, by eating healthier, by taking care of our bodies, by taking care of our state of being and our digestion and gut bacteria, which impacts depression and all of that. I'd like to start the Asshole Society, right? Come embrace your asshole with all your asshole friends. At least that's preaching oneness, that's inviting everybody to come to the event, as opposed to all these events being thrown out there, inviting specifically the people that belong to that society, that belong to that culture, that belong to that group, So, everywhere, the separation thing, class separation, right? The rich people hang around the rich people, the poor people hang around the poor people, and then on and on it goes the dance, right? Look, there's nothing wrong with throwing these events, with belonging to a group, having a community. Nothing wrong with it. Go on, do it. Bond with your group, bond with the people that you speak the same language with and share the same traditions with, but don't make it the only thing you do. Don't make it the only group you belong to. Don't constrain yourself to this group that you happen to be born into. All right, do that. Go and do that Middle Eastern event or whatever group you belong to. Do all of that, okay? But make it only like a small part. Like, go out and do other things and belong to other groups, do this, do that. Go out on like hiking groups, get to know, people of different backgrounds, right? I mean, the hiker group is another group, right? It's like, oh, we all hike, so it's come together. You can't really avoid the group thing. You can't really avoid the community thing, Like, lately I start to hang around more people that do psychedelics, psychonauts, right? You can't avoid it. When I started the YouTube fitness channel, I'd hang around people who were into fitness. You can't avoid it. It's like you have to. As you change your life and you want to belong, you want to have a community, it's like you have to, man. It's just the way it is. But go out and like experience different groups, different things, and don't just cling on to this one group. And more importantly than all of this, why aren't we throwing events embracing unity? Why aren't we throwing events and starting societies and clubs and all of that in these campuses and everywhere else that says, hey, come here and let's embrace all of us sharing the human condition. This is an event for everybody. Anybody can come. It's all inclusive. You can come. Doesn't matter your sexual orientation. Doesn't matter your financial background. Doesn't matter. Just come to this society. We will embrace being a human being. I don't see any of that. That's to me more important than, it's like what they say, right? If you want to get rid of darkness, you bring light. You bring the light, right? And if you want to get rid of separation, this constant separation, you bring the light, the truth, which is oneness, unity, love. And the mission of me in this channel is to bring into awareness to people that we're all one, that we are all united, that we are all the same, we are all one consciousness experiencing itself subjectively, and that you and I have the same divine spark within us, and we are simply having a subjective experience. Part of that subjective experience is I belong to this group, that I was born in this country. And again, I mean, you belong to that group because you were born there, right? It's one thing to belong to a group because just that's where you were born, right? It's another thing to start to choose which group you want to belong to. That's also a different thing. But ultimately, keep in mind the oneness, keep in mind you're everybody and everybody's you. And if you invest in the idea of reincarnation, which there's a lot of evidence for, then you have come here many, 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 many times, and you will probably come here many, 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 many more times. and you get to experience every culture, being black, being white, being Muslim, being Jewish, being atheist, being this, being that, being all of it, being physically attractive, being having deformities, right? You get to experience all of it anyway, whether you like it or not. You just keep popping in and out, popping from one vagina to the next vagina, right? And yeah, we're all one. So I think maybe, yeah, you want to take a shit on this video and say, Saeed, you're being a negative Nancy right now. Yeah, go ahead, take a big shit, okay? Take a big shit, but I'm just reporting what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a lot of separation. I'm seeing a lot of these things. A lot of people just always calling for separation and reinforcing their belonging to only one group. And what I like to see more of in the world, and I do what I can in these videos, and I do what I can in my own life. I do the best that I can, is to bring into awareness and into action and into embodiment the Christ consciousness. The Christ consciousness is all inclusive. It loves you anyway. Doesn't care what's your background, doesn't care who you are. It embraces you because it knows who you really are deep down. A stream of consciousness that it popped into this dimension via vagina and is having a temporary human experience that is temporary, and it is a blink of an eye, it's a flicker, it is nothing but a blink, boom, boom, that's it. It's divine. God bless you all. I love every single one of you. One family, one love, one heart. But as always, don't forget to subscribe or you're gonna sleep with the fishes.